Okay, headed to the post office, ready to lock in and get some stuff done, and hold on. Where did this iced coffee come from? What? That's so random. Oh, it must be a cold open.
Hi, my name's Amalia, and I'm on a mission to suck a little less by my 40th birthday. Yesterday was my half birthday, so I'm in a bit of a hurry. Today I've got a lot to do. I'm going to go to the post office and mail a thing. I've got some plant chores to come home and do, and then tonight I have a show. So let's get to it. I recently looked around and realized that one of the things that is really bogging me down is the fact that I have too dang much stuff. Some of it is good stuff, and while I could just bag it up, box it up, and donate it, I figured I'd try my hand at doing something different. So I listed a few things on eBay, and I made my first sale. It was low-hanging fruit. It was like a Cotopaxi hip bag, and someone clearly had notifications on for the Cotopaxi brand, so it was sold like within the hour. But still, it feels like a win, so it's time to go mail that. Also, side note, it's early in the day and I'm wearing what I like to refer to as intermediate clothes. This is not what I'm going to wear like to do the big stuff today when I'm like on stage and really talking to people, but I am going to wear it to the post office. So fit check. Here's a t-shirt from my friend's game store that they own in Port Townsend. I got these shorts in Norway. I went to Norway to be on a reality show. I didn't expect it to be warm, so I didn't really bring any shorts. These were the only ones that I could find on short notice. They were in the swim section. And these are Saguaros. They're basically Crocs. They're basically Crocs. Let's go to the post office.
I'm hoping to be here at the post office a lot in the next few months because I have too much stuff. So let's hope that this is the first trip of many to have one less thing at my house and have it be sent off to someone who's gonna enjoy it and use it. So we're gonna call that a success. And hey, look, it's the coffee from before. Turns out it's a yuzu espresso tonic from one of my favorite places. Awesome, what a great day.
Now that that's done, I have some Firehouse verbena that is absolutely beautiful, but it has been sitting in the little nursery pots next to the pot of geraniums that it's going to go into for, I don't know, a week or two, and they're really starting to dry out and get sad, so we really got to pot them up.
Okay, it is plant chores o'clock here. I've got these hot pink geraniums. These were overflow. My aunt got the 6-pack of geraniums from Costco this year and she only wanted 3 of them, so she gave me the other 3, which was awesome. I wasn't sure that they were going to be super happy in terracotta, but they seem to be doing great. A lot of these blooms are kind of spent. I may end up doing some deadheading of those, and if nothing else, they are dropping a lot of very hot pink petals. So that'll be thing number 2. Thing number 1 though is dealing with these poor little guys because, oh my gosh, I got these weeks ago. They are Firehouse Peppermint verbena and they are so insanely beautiful. Check out these blossoms up close. They're like red and salmon coral color, kind of maybe even candy pink. I guess they've faded out to kind of hot pink, but they look amazing with these geraniums. So I picked them up a couple of weeks ago and I've had them sitting in the pot, but not actually planted in the pot. So today, it's time to actually plant in the pot so that the foliage doesn't stay all crispy and sad and I don't keep losing blossoms prematurely. I just realized that I forgot any kind of tool for digging. Stand by. Okay, I got my trusty Hori Hori here. I'll use my Hori Hori for just about anything. But let's do this. So we got a little bit, we got some dead leaves in here. Gonna pull out those bad boys, make out a little bit of space for the verbena. There's room for everybody to play. Ding, oh, come on, there we go. And let's make a little space here. Those hot pink geranium petals are dropping like confetti. I thought about amending the soil a little bit with some fresh potting mix, but this was fresh potting mix just a few weeks ago when I put the geraniums in, so I think I'm just gonna leave them as is. Oh, we got a nice little slug on the bottom of the pot. This is what happens. Like, they're kind of facing away from the camera, but they are ridiculously cute. Let's do the other one. I'm kind of new to verbena this year. I always see them and I always kind of overlook them, but this year, man, these ones just really caught my eye. I couldn't pass them up. These ones, and also the like peppermint candy stripe ones, I just freaking love. You can put a candy stripe on just about anything and I'm gonna love it. Oh my gosh, this foliage is so sad and crispy and these roots are so tight. I'm so sorry, guys. I shouldn't have made you wait for this long. Okay. It's okay, we're all trying to suck less together. I think I changed my mind about not adding any fresh potting soil because the level is looking a little low here. La 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 la, potting soil. Adding some potting soil. Na, 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 na. La 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 la, potting soil. We're gonna cover up your little verbena toes. La 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 la, geraniums. Dropping lots of petals. Okay. Dropping on Spotify soon. I need more tools. I went and grabbed my little sharp shears here. I think I am just gonna deadhead these preemptively because they're dropping lots of petals and I've got more buds on the way. So let's just, you know, make room for our buds. I get by with a little room for my buds. Oh, I'm gonna get sued. Oh no! I broke off a bud. Dang it. Rip in peace, hot pink geranium bud. I'm sorry. Okay, I think that looks pretty all right. This weekend, we're hosting my in-laws for my mother-in-law's birthday, and she's a big gardener, mostly veggies, less ornamental, but I think she'll like this setup. But I think this is pretty cute. I feel good about putting this out. Man, we are wailing on getting stuff done today. Look at this. It's 2 things. Okay, now I gotta move this back over there. Look what my kneeling pad did to my skin.
Next plant chore, my husband's uncle died a couple of months ago and his house is full of like a lot of stuff, but I got put in charge of taking care of his plants. So he hadn't been home for several weeks. He was in the hospital for a few weeks before he died, so things were a little sad, needed some rehab to begin with. But I'm gonna start rehabbing those one by one. We're going to start with this syngonium. I don't actually know what variety it is. I was able to chop and prop it, and some propagations are ready to go into soil. And the mother plant, which seems to be potted directly into sand, is ready to be repotted as well. We're going to repot the mother plant into something cute and something that is not maybe only sand.
So Uncle Paul had some pretty awesome plants in his house. One of them that caught my eye immediately was this syngonium. Now, I don't know a ton about syngoniums. I don't know what variety this is. If you have a guess, then please let me know. It's pretty like straight up emerald leaf, like pretty standard kind of arrowhead syngonium leaf shape. The veining is not, it's kind of deep, but it's not too deep and it's not too high contrast. We got some new leaves coming out, but she's beautiful. She's a beautiful plant. These are some propagations that I cut off the main plant as soon as she came to my house, which this was about a month ago at this point. So they have been sitting in water. They were pretty sad. This was definitely a rehab, but now they are definitely ready to go. Let's take a look at these roots. Yes! Okay. Looking good. Looking good. We got a lot to work with here. Now, one thing I do not understand is why this mother plant was planted in what appears to be just straight up sand. It looks like it's just plain like unamended sand. Could be that Uncle Paul knows something that I don't know. Could be that this is what he had on hand. Could be that they do just fine in a medium that has no nutrients. What I do know about these plants is that they are hemiepiphytic, which sounds like a fancy word, but what it means is that they root like on the jungle floor, and then they like to climb up trees. So they get their nutrients from the soil, but then they also climb up trees. I don't actually know whether they like sink roots into the skin of another tree and get nutrients from that, or if it just comes from their toe root beans. Science. But I don't know that sand is really the best medium for this. I'm going with kind of a chunky mix here. This is just potting soil plus some perlite. I want to have it be nice and aerated. I might even scoop in some of this sand too, so that she can have something familiar in her new home. Let's do that. Let's give it a shot. Oh, actually, as I'm digging down, it looks like this is mostly sand on top. So maybe that was a measure to keep fungus gnats down, or I don't know why. Uncle Paul, why you do this? But that bodes well for this plant acclimating to just regular old potting medium. Now this mother plant was in this huge pot. I don't know how old she is. I don't know how long this plant has been in here, but what I do know is that Uncle Paul was pretty sick near the end of his life, so a lot of his plants were going pretty untaken care of. I grabbed a much smaller pot. I raided my pot stash for some cash pots to put these in. I'm totally gambling on the size here. I don't know what we're gonna get as far as living root tissue when we tip this out. I also don't have a plan for how or where I'm gonna tip this out. Stand by. Okay, look, you work with what you got, okay? So I found a seed starting tray. We're gonna tip out this mother syngonium in here and see what we're working with as far as living root tissue. Ay. Come on. Out you go. Okay, wow, that is really sandy. Oh my, what? Wait, what? Wait. Are we seeing this? I don't actually know what this fiber is. There's like a mat of this fiber in here. As I pull it apart, I actually feel a little more comforted, because when I first tipped it out, it really looked like human hair. So maybe that's like a little pad thing to keep sand and soil from coming out the bottom of the pot. I'm not troubled by that. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. I feel like I'm cleaning out a hairbrush. No, okay, that looks like synthetic fiber. But I'm still a little troubled. I'm gonna take off your little wig. Okay, so I got the mother plant tipped out, and actually I'm pleased to report that I gambled and won. I was pretty sure that there wasn't going to be a lot of root tissue in this, just because of the size of the foliage that was coming up and everything that this had been through in the last couple of months. So I think the small pot is going to be just perfect. So we're going to load this up with some really nice chunky potting medium, and then we're going to have our little hemiepiphyte all repotted and ready to go. We'll just move the sandy wig soil out of the way. I've got this little nursery pot that is going to fit absolutely perfectly into this little cash pot. I think it's going to be a really, really nice look. So we'll start with a little bit. I'm starting a little less than half. And then I'm going to sort of work these roots and the base of this stem into the pot so that they are nice and cozy, snug as a bug. And then I'm gonna backfill. There we go. That looks pretty good. Now we're gonna pop it into, oh, That's okay. Now we're just gonna pop it into this little cache pot, and that's a good looking little plant. I think you're gonna be happy in there. I wish you many, many wonderful years and many healthy new leaves. Okay, next up we're gonna move on to these propagations. First of all, can I get a witness on these roots? Okay, this one hasn't really thrown roots yet, so I might leave that in water. But look at these. I mean, we got primary roots, we got secondary roots. They don't even look too much like water roots. It's awesome. This one has a new shoot coming off of it. Oh my gosh, we're in such good shape to put this in soil. I'm excited. So again, I found this slightly bigger nursery pot that I think is gonna fit really nicely into this slightly bigger cache pot. I think that is going to give us lots of room to groove, and we're gonna have some happy syngoniums on our hands. Starting again with just a little bit in the bottom. I'm gonna go one cutting at a time so that I don't hopefully get their roots too terribly tangled. This is the one with the new shoot, so I'm gonna try to leave most of that new shoot exposed. Actually, I may put you a little higher. I'll put you a little higher. Let's start with a different cutting. Whoa, okay, we're gonna go with this one. This has thrown 2 new leaves in the time that I've had it in water, which is about a month. It started as just a bare stem. We've also got great looking primary and secondary roots on here, so I think I think you're gonna be just fine. We'll work that in here. Wind you around a little bit. Yum, 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 putting you in soil. Nothing against being propagated in water, because that's plenty to get started, but it's time for some tasty soil. Next up, I'm gonna do this one. I'm considering chopping off this little chunk of internodal stem. I left it on originally because I figured the cuttings could use as much surface area for photosynthesis as possible, but at this point it's got like a whole new shoot that's coming off. This is a new leaf that has started since propagating. Also, we've got some little secondary roots coming in. I think we're in good shape. I may leave it for now, but I'll probably get to the point where I'll cut off this little extra piece of internodal stem. All right, poking in your little peats, your little plant peats. Getting this nice new pair of shoes for your first day of school. Okay. Feeling good about how these 2 cuttings are looking and how their roots are fitting in together. Right now the soil is only up about this far, so I'm gonna add just a tiny bit more before I plunk in this last cutting that has that brand new shoot. Careful. I'm gonna finish backfilling this pot. Okay, I think that's looking really, really good. Now, I will say, I'm not too concerned as to whether or not this is like a perfect potting job. What I do know, aside from the fact that syngonium or hemiepiphytic, which feels like a very smart word to know, is that syngoniums are such aggressive growers that they are literally categorized as invasive species in some parts of the world. So I'm just gonna like not worry about this too much. These cuttings took to water propagation like it was their job. They did fabulous work, and they've got lots of roots to work with as far as taking in nutrients. So we're gonna water these in a little bit. And also, hey, while I give these plants some water, you should drink some water too, you absolute dehydrated goblin. You're beautiful. I guess I'll take care of this too. Okay, seriously though, like, do you know what this is? Because I really did think it was like wig hair when I tipped it out. I don't know, guys. I don't know, Uncle Paul. Okay, I think these look really good. So now that plant chores are done, all there is to do is get cleaned up, change out of intermediate clothes, and head to the show. Thanks for helping. You did great.
Tonight is the showcase for the improv class that I have been teaching for the last couple of months. I'm super, super proud of these students, and I am hosting their showcase tonight. So we got to get ready and head to the theater.
Look at this! Made it to the theater with time to spare. Oh man, I'm gonna call today a success. This is great. And now, hey, it's just on with the show.
Thanks for joining me. Like I said, I'm on a mission to suck less by my 40th birthday. So if you want to suck less with me, let's suck less together. You can follow me, do all the things, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks. Oh, We got a ripe plum. Oh my goodness. This one has been grasped by a squirrel. Look at this. That looks like squirrel claws to me. Like they tried to pick it. Oh boy. Oh buddy. Hope you found another one.